Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Entertainment Group presents Put the Comic Artist Hour with Les Garner.
Howdy, y'all. We are back. It is another Wednesday, and I got some drawing to do, so I'm going to jump right into this. Today, I'm feeling like pushing, promoting a little bit of Gasp, so I'm going to do a quick sketch of good old Belladonna Lamort.
Sweet.
So, because she's a lot of fun. So, we're just going to hop in.
Hello, everybody in online land. What's happening? What?
All right. Two. And here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's find that midpoint. Find the midpoint.
All right, because I was dealing with some other crap, I didn't get any share outs or anything done. So that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of days.
All right. I am going to crank on this and get the pencils of this done as quick as I can. Kind of test myself and see how quick I can go today. Let's see. All right. There we go. We got the nuts and bolts of his face started. That opacity turned on up there, which I did not want. And come in here, do that. Then give just a little arc right there, and a little arc right there. A little V right here. Okay, come down. All right, now nice big arc around here. Nice big arc here. Yay. Go. So I'm going to look at cheekbones a little bit. Use that to kind of come off and get me some jawline going. Go. And of course, she's got her little earrings. So I'm just going to put a couple circles there because I know what's in those. I don't need to waste any more time on those than that. Let's get some stuff in here that kind of nails down her hair. She's got, these kind of the goth chick bangs going on. All right. There we go. And then I'm going to come in here and maybe kind of give myself a little bit of notice of some shading there. So, yeah, let's really work those out. Then I'm going to go ahead and doodle on some glasses because that's kind of part of her look is these glasses. And then, boom, boom, boom.
What's up, Brent? Brent Powers in the chat. What's happening?
Oh, Mr. Brento. So, and there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get around that neck a little bit. And that's all black right there. Okay. So now I've got the most important part nailed down. I come in here and put a line there to denote my shoulders. Then we're going to do the old S curve for the spine. Then I'm going to come off the neck a little bit and do this sort of, it's kind of a big football shape, really. But then we use that as a guide to go around the front. What we're really doing here is building up where we know where the rib cage is. So
we just got us a little raid from over there on Pill DBP Productions. DB Productions. Thank you for the raid. We love you guys. You know we love you guys. We really do. We really do.
The way I like to do the breasticles is kind of one way is come right off of here. Of course, I always do this little. You guys probably seen me do this many times, where I'll put kind of a little dot there, so I mark the center point of the neck, and so I know exactly the center line of all this, and then I'll do this kind of thing where I have this contour that follows around and lets me know where everything's going to be. So then right here, so that lets me know where the good stuff is. And then from there, we're going to fill this on out like so. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go ahead and start doing some little sketchies here. I'm going to come over here with a line for her.
Brent says he's working on a new album release via DistroKid.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people use DistroKid.
And he said something about old football boobs. Football boobs. Oh.
All right. Then boom, boom, boom. Let's do that. There we go. And there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of the Jim Lee method. It's very similar to how I always did hands before I saw him do that. But once I saw that, I was like, holy crap, how come I never thought of that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now let's get this thumb in here. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. All right. Boom, boom, boom. There's that. Of course, she's got some bits and bobs of this dress because sleeves are all nice and tattered. So we'll do some of that. And let's go in here and think about the rest of this arm. Sometimes I just like to fill in an area with a bunch of squiggles like that and then see what the volume tells my eyes when I look at it. So and then thinking about how these tension folds would fall right here. Boom, boom, boom. Do that. So mark those, and then right here, just coming up here, boom, 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 and that's going to let me know that whole area is going to go black. Now then, let's come down here and nice. There we go. There's that. We'll give a little bit of a rim light right down here underneath there.
The lower third is blocking a lot of the drawing. Can you move it up so it's not down there where your name and stuff shows on the screen?
I'll be up out of that here in a second.
Or can I just remove your name and stuff?
Yeah, just take my name off there. It doesn't need to be there. So
there, how's that, Brent? Is that better?
We'll go to a little bit bigger brush in here. And when I'm drawing hair, I like to turn on adjust by speed because the way the strokes will smooth out a little bit, and I just like how that ends up. Even when I'm doing pencils, I just like the way that feels.
And Easy 3 cents gifted us with a can, and he said DB stands for Dank Babes or Dank Bros. Got to include our good men. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Let's see here now. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes those little circles along there really help nail down your volumes. So there's that. And we're going to come around here. There's that particular shape. It's kind of a repeat a lot of times for forearms. We'll circle there. Lets us know what we're doing with that. And there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see here now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This little end right there. And then we're going to have this one come up and go down to her glasses. Okay. So we got the thumb right here. Let's just connect that in there. And we're getting pretty close to having something I can start inking on. So there's that. Now her hair is just stupid big. So we're just going to like to find the top and then start kind of laying in some of this stuff. And then that will give me a little information to go from. Okay. All right. Ooh, I gotta step back for a second, shake my arm out. I actually sit there and get super tense while I'm doing that. So sometimes I gotta stop and shake my hand out. Let's come down here and kind of address a little bit of this. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this isn't going to have a whole lot else going on right here. There's that and that. And then we give her a nice big belt right here. There's that. And then that will continue around that way. And now let's build up the rest of these hair volumes. Okay, let's put a couple of... It's funny. Start with building the roof. Build the roof because that way you know where up is. And then from there, you just follow down, follow and follow. And then from there, you can smooth those lines out so you know where you're at. Okay? Now then.
Brent has a question. He said, is there a technical name for the process of first drawing the shapes to get to your accurate anatomy?
Underdrawing. Underdrawing or form drawing. So there's that. Come here. And this is the fun stuff. It's just these little squiggles that make up the torn up cloth. So do. Nice. 15 in. I feel like I pretty much got this penciled. So let's do that and that. Now then, we're going to come here. I'm going to follow this contour so I kind of have an idea where the highlights are going to fall on this, because that's the big thing that I have left to do here. And then that gives me some idea where those are going to go. Okay. Yes. And then those in. Yes. You know, none of this is actually for detail. This is just shorthand to let me know what I need to do when it's time to ink it. So boom, boom, boom. No. No, 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 no. Boom, boom, boom. Why does that elude me sometimes? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's see here now. All right. Do. Let's see here now. Why did I do that? Drink. There we go. So now I'm going to turn the opacity down on that. I'm going to throw a fresh layer on here. And first thing I'm going to do is use a circle template and get the glasses and put them on their own layer because I hate dealing with hard edges. So many reasons I hate it. So let's go here. And no, I want to grab. Let's see. No. Now, where do I have that at? Oh, I do it so little that I forget where that's at. Curve, radial curve, concentric circle. And I'll draw that out on there. And then I'm going to just go ahead and use my layers move tool to move that. And then we're going to bring these little guides in here. And use my arrow keys. Then come in here. And 1, 2. There's that. And even if I were going to ink this, if I were going to spit this out to paper and ink it traditionally, I would still go ahead and do this part on the computer because using rulers and squares and things like that is a royal pain for me these days. And I just as soon get it out of the way. So there. Ah, it's being stupid. There we go. Oops. I forgot to have apply to connected pixels only turned on. There we go. So there's that. Now let's grab a pen and come in here and do a little bit here. Then we're going to put a little white highlight on there. And I'm going to select all that. Advanced fill it with white. I grab my paint bucket, set it to clear, do that. And then from there, I can drag that over. If I drag while holding Alt, then it makes a new layer. Then I am going to merge with layer below. Let's go ahead and make this monochromatic. There we go. And since there is a touch of perspective going on there, I'm going to hit free transform and just turn off all of my snapping so that I can do this without any problems there. Okay, there's that. Now then, let's come in here, get my pen. I'm going to turn on adjust by speed. And then I'm going to come in here. 2, 3, 1. Nope. I don't like the way that's looking. Makes me angry. There we go. There's that. And then we're going to go right here. We're going to go right here. Boom. Boom. All right. Then I'm going to fill all the empty pixels with white. Then drop clear into all that. And now those are done and locked. go. Speaking of locked, I am actually going to lock that layer. All right, now we'll come down here, start a new layer, and then we're going to start with these eyes. So giving them big old crazy eyelashes. And I go to a bigger brush because I want more play in my brush from my thickness. Okay, let's go bigger. Okay, here we go. For something like this, I will use I'll use a larger brush than I might normally, because for this, I'm really paying attention to my pressure sensitivity a lot, and I want a lot of line variation. So, go. Alrighty, there's that. Now let's go back down to a smaller brush. Thicken that up, get a second little line right there. And then I'm going to come in here with this stuff. And this is just kind of like a line art way of getting a hint of eyeshadow in there.
I want to say thank you to DB Productions and Braves Piano and Easy 3 Cents, all dropping cans on us over on Pill. Appreciate you guys, man.
I don't know what that means.
That means it's like a super chat on YouTube.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, it's a little fundage to pay the bills. We like that. We like that. So, big time appreciation. You know.
Don't like that nose. Okay, here we go. Really like to see some line variation when it comes to lips. Fill some of that in. There we go. Nice. Now then, I swung out too wide with that. Cool. There's that.
We got some yarn today, but it's like super, super thin. You probably want to call Mom and check the weight of the yarn that she needs in order to do this for you. And we'll probably have to return this because she said there's no way. It's super, super thin. You know?
I think you meant to be muted, dude.
Other than that, nothing else to report. Everything's okay.
Hey, Pops.
Yo.
Ah,
sorry, I forgot to mute.
Yeah, I know.
It's a whole different world, you know, taking care of mom and doing all the other.
Oh yeah.
You know, had a sister that wanted mom to knit something for her, but she sent some yarn that's way too thin. You know, so I just called her to let her know that ain't gonna work. But I forgot to mute myself, so y'all got to hear it. You know.
It happens.
Dealing with a family and shit like that—that's totally freaking new to me, bro. You know, I haven't talked to these people much at all for years. So, other than mom, you know, my little brother, but
I'm gonna throw a new layer up here, and we're gonna do more concentric circles to make her little earrings out of. So, and I'm actually gonna pull a slick little trick with this one. I'm gonna be using white and I'm adding a border effect that I'm going to turn up to about 8 or 9 pixels. You got a phone call, Pops. Here we go. And then we'll do that. I'm going to delete that ruler. Boom, boom, boom.
It looks like we got rated again from St. Cosmic Dildo, rating our channel. We got Cybrax Speed, Mr. Tizo. What's up, guys? Les obviously is doing the thing. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, so there's that and that. Gonna merge with layer below, turn it back to monochrome. I see it, turn it back to monochrome. Thank you. Then I'm gonna throw an alpha channel layer mask on here. You can always tell when somebody's a 3D person working in the 2D stuff because they'll refer to their their layer masks as alpha channels. Because that's just how we do. All right. So now I'm going to give a little something right here.
The terminology.
There's that and that. And then we are going to lock it down. So now we're going to go back down here. Bunk, bunk. And there's that ear. And then we're going to come in here. Let's see. I want to put these glasses actually down below that. And then control click on them. And I'm going to come in here and make a layer mask for that. But then we're going to come in here and make that part go away. Aren't we? Aren't we making that go away? Or are we making... I get confused sometimes. Delete that mask.
I live confused.
Here we go. Here we go. Nah, here's what I need to do. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do this a really quick, crazy way today. We're going to come in here. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to turn that stabilization to about there. So this is a neat little trick. Yep. Don't like it. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here and do that. Nah, let's go here. Just to kind of add something in there. Because I actually draw with this fill lasso tool quite a bit. It's a little weird. But I'll, like wherever I click the start, I know I've got to come back right like that. So, and I know that I am probably going to end up just filling all that stuff in anyway. This kind of gets me started so I can do some easy fills. And then there's that. Now then, let's come in here and I'm going to crank up the stabilization on this bad boy so it's nice and smooth. Okay. I'm just going to follow that back around through all that black. And pop. There's that. I really dig that. Really dig that stuff. I think, yeah, we're just going to take that right there and we'll turn that off. A little locking off. And just drop a little black right there. Let's see now. Let's go And then that gets that in there. Let's come. I know it's really weird, but for some reason, just right now, I just feel like using this fill lasso tool for doing a lot of these inks because I want this certain type of smoothness to it. And I know by having that stability cranked up, I'm going to get it. All right.
So Brookie Cookie Dough just chimed in over on Pilled and said, wow.
Mm.
And she's talking about your art, bro. I'm just saying.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now I want to go here. What's funny is sometimes I do the white parts like this, and you can't even see what I'm doing. I just know where it's going. And then after that, I will come in and fill it in with black, and all of a sudden the white stuff all pops.
Right.
It's really, really kind of funny. Like here's a neat trick. Okay. So I'm going to click on my layer here. I'm going to turn on this layer color. And then let's just go ahead and set that to black so I know where my black is. Then I'm going to tap on that color and I'm going to set it to like a pink. So then if I use any white in here, that's going to show up like that. Okay. So then I can go in and do, a big thing like that. And I know that it's going to be white.
You got Dan Sen from Argo Comics popping in the chat saying, liking this art, the hair looks fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. So like, if I turn that stabilization down so that I can get some kind of jaggies that I want, let's come in here and we'll go up here like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to sit here and do these little scribblies. Now that's going to be all white. But then if I come back and I take my fill lasso and I set it to background and I were to go in here with black, then you're going to get that. So, but I don't want that right now. I'm just doing that as an example. So let's come in here and take my pen. And this is the other way I like doing these little tick marks on stuff. So I'll keep sharp angles turned on. I'll turn off that adjust by speed. Let's go to about a 30 point. Okay. And there's a certain way that you move your hand and it will cause it, as you're making these little loop-de-loops, they'll actually turn into these little tick marks because of having that sharp angles button clicked. Okay, there's that. And then from there, we'll just fill that in. And there we go. Let's adjust it by speed.
CRoM said, nice inking. Using the lasso tool to hatch is an awesome technique.
It's a lot of fun. It's a little different. So here, since I still have that turned on, when I click on my white, it's going to show up as that red, which sometimes I really like doing that just because it makes it easier for my eyes. And see, we're at 12:35, so we're trucking right along on this. Let's here get a nice smooth line around that. We'll make that meet the thumb right there. I'm going to just add some little embellishing lines on the outside. And then I like this stuff. Okay, and then there's that. Boom. Boom. Now let's get a nice hold line on here. There we go. Now, I know that right here, I could really make use of some white. And so I'm just going to ink down around that with that red. And then when I come back in later and I fill that in with some black, it's gonna pop right apart just the way I want it to. Okay. That. Let's see. Let's get this other hold line going. Yeah, I didn't like that. That. Now then, go to a smaller brush. Put that stuff in there. Okay, there's that. And this blue is a little too aggressive on me, so I'm going to turn that down so I've got a clearer picture of what I'm doing. Then there's going to be a fingernail. Here, 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 down to there, thumbnail. Okay, bring that all around. 2 and 3, and then we'll just add these tick marks here that kind of help give us a sense of volume. Just that and that. Now then, come here, boom. A little extra there, boom. A little extra there, boom. Okay, and then again, I'm going to come through here with these little tick marks to give that extra sense of volume. Let's go to a size larger. Nope, don't like that. Don't like it. Don't like that either. All right, let's come 1, 2. There we go. Boom, boom. I'm not really caring for some of what's going on there. We'll just come back in here. 1, 2. There we go. 2, 3. Nope. Something I really try to be very conscious of is how confident my lines feel. Like if I look at them and it looks like I was a little shaky somewhere, then that I'll probably back up on it because I don't want shaky lines. Okay. And then here, I'm just using these little hatch lines to follow the form. Okay, there's that. Boink. Boink. And then we come in here. Okay. Now let's get over here and do this other hand. All right. 2, 3. Nice. And then boom. Boom. Now then, where were those glasses at? They're right there. So I am going to throw a little layer mask on that and give that some room for her finger to come through. So then we're going to come back in here, just like that, like that. 3. And then there's my little form lines. Now then, that, and okay, we're gonna come in here, and then right there. Trying to go extra clean on my lines today on this one. A lot of times I have a tendency to want to get very liney because I love the Bernie Wrightson style stuff. But with this, I really feel like I want to be super clean. Here we go. All right, now let's go to a slightly thicker brush. And then I gave her a little too much wrist right there. This needs to be set to monochrome. So let's come in here and just kick out a little bit of that. Now then, there's that. And that. Now then, go to a smaller brush. And come here. Okay, now then, let's come in with that fill lasso again. And I'm going to fill a bunch of this right like that. Then we're going to do some extra right here, like that. There's that. Cool. You probably hear my air compressor kick on in the background because I've been working on some paintings lately.
Yes, I did.
That.
Got you a nicely done from Houston, Texas, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so there's that. In here. Take that. Make that a little more solid like that. And then I really don't care for the angle of that stuff. So I'm going to make a selection out of that and then grab my free transform and just move that a little bit so it's more straight down. And then hit OK. And then we'll come back here and fill that in. I like that better. Cool. Now then, I'm going to switch back off and use my white with a pretty big brush in here. And we're going to put some nice tension folds in this. Doing it with the white ink. And then we're going to come through here like this. And we're going to go like that. And let's fill all that in. So now, when that's all done, yay, we can switch off to our black. Come there. And if I take my fill lasso tool and now set it to background, I can come right through here and just do that. So, which I actually prefer that to the paint bucket because I get tired of messing around with the hole closing of the paint bucket. Although sometimes the bucket is what you need, like right there. So there we go. Let's fill that little spot in. See, now if I turn that off, you'll see how that white pops out. Just come in here and touch a little bit more of that. Now then, I'm going to come through and add some other white stuff, and you'll see how that actually brings that forward over the arm. So then we're going to do a little bit more. I love going with white into black like that. So let's just get some of that out of there. And there we go. Then fill some of that in. And I don't think this was really as necessary as I thought it would be. Okay. Then we'll zoom out just a little tiny bit. Let's see. Adjust by speed is on. So there's that. Here. Here. Then we're going to go right here. And I'm going to turn off my adjust by speed because I want it to have some of that jagginess in these lines. Okay, there's that. Then we're going to come here. All right, nice. Now then, I'm going to turn my colors back on. And let's go with turn the sharp angle off. I'm going to take the white. I'm going to draw this belt buckle in. Like that.
And here it comes.
And then let's come right here, 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 here. I'm going to fill all those in so we get a nice clean shape right there. Okay. And then I'm going to add some little marks like that. Okay. Now let's do the edge of the belt like that. And then we're going to come over here off of this and just I'm going to get these nice little lines in here, and that's going to end up giving us the sense of shine when we turn all this back out. So I'm going to bring that around, fill that. Okay, cool. There's that much. Now then, let's see. We'll switch back to my black, and let's go to my. Oh wait, I see where I need to throw a little more white in here. Let's do a little black line right there. And then I want that adjust by speed turned off. I want the sharp angles on. So we can do that. And that. Okay. So now I'm going to take my fill lasso. I'm just going to come right around here like that. And we're going to fill that in. Catch this little spot right here that didn't get filled, and turn it off. There we can see what we got. So, and then sometimes I will just hit convert to brightness to opacity so I can see back through there really easy, or I could set it to multiply. It's just whatever you prefer. There's that. Now let's throw a little bit in here. Then we're going to embellish this belt buckle a little bit. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Can I bring it home? I think I can. Let's see, just by speed. It's going to come around here. Then we're going to go here. Then we're going to go here. Is that where we want to be with that? Yes. And then we're going to follow this contour like that. That's good. So then from there, I'm going to turn adjust by speed off, swing this around. I'm going to finish these lines out so that we get that little sheen going. There we go. And then I might just add a few white ones in there. Set that back to normal because I'm going to need it a little bit here. There's that. Okay. So now we're going to see, come in here, and I'm going to add some stuff into this. Okay. There's that. Let's take out white, turn this back on. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm putting a little knockout line around there so that I can have better control over what I'm doing here when I come back. So like when I come through here, there's that. Now then we're going to go that, 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 and then pop that in there, and that white's going to stay. Of course, I'm going to come back in and smooth that out because I don't like the way it looks. Okay. There's that. That's pretty cool. And boom. Then right here, we're going to fill those in. And then from right here, I think I need some white right there. Cool. Boom, boom. Is that what I want to happen right there? Not quite. Boom. No, don't want that. That's what I want right there. And then we're going to turn on adjust by speed. We got 7 minutes left. There's that one. And that one. Ding, 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 ding. All right. That. Now let's do that hair. And then we're going to come here. Those will fill in. Now we get to come in here and add these finishing touches. Like that. And then the last thing that's going to bring it in right at an hour is going to be her little goth chick bangs. And at this point, I'm going to put these layers all together, merge them, and cool, monochrome, cool. So now, boom, boom. There's that. Fill that in. Now we got to come back in here. I'm going to keep that little hint of that in place. There's that. Let's connect that there so we can fill in all of that. All right. Let's make that there a little smoother. All right, now let's turn this around. And yeah, when I get going this quick, I will actually get in here to the point that I'm practically laying down on my tablet.
Just looks good to me.
There's that. Okay. That. Let's kind of complete these a little bit. Let's turn on that adjust by speed so these are smoother lines. And there's all that. Now we're going to gild the lily a little bit by adding some white right in here. Oop, didn't like that one. Really what you're doing when you're adding white on top of black hair like that is you're using the sheen of the hair to define the volumes. So, you know, if you think of hair as locks, which I don't like that guy crossing right over there like that. There we go. You know, you think of hair as being like locks like that, then you want to use little strokes from time to time to help define the volume in those locks. So we're at 58. And there's that. And let's do that and that. And boom, she done. Not bad for an hour's work.
It's always very good for an hour's work.
I'd probably go in and smooth that line right there out a little bit.
I want to show everybody that animation of her that you did real quick.
I'm going to smooth this line out real quick because it's bugging me. And then after that, it should be good. Because I did not like how that line felt really. There we go. That's smoother. Yep. Cool. All right. It's done. I promise.
I want to show everybody your animation of her that you did real quick.
Cool.
So tune in. Check this out, everybody.
Evening, darlings. It's about time to start this show. Get on out of here. That's my set. My name's Belladonna Lamort, and I'm just hopping on screen to tell you, if y'all ain't checked out the Gasp Horror Anthology from Resolute Bliss, then y'all about as silly as that dusty old bag of bones. So what you waiting for? Head on over and sign up at Kickstarter now.
Yeah,
there is more gasp coming, folks.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about. That's what we do here.
Yep.
Hope you all enjoyed this episode. I know I did. I love watching you draw. That's
nice, y'all. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. So I'm going to hop off. For those that don't know, if you're in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, I'll be at CreepyCon horror show going on in Knoxville this coming weekend with the guys from Resolute Bliss, and we'll be, you know, doing all kinds of goofy stuff there. We'll have Psycho and Pinky from the micro wrestling will be there with us. Our little people friends who are playing the characters Psycho and Pinky that we've adapted into the Oz series. So they'll be there doing their thing. I think we'll have a couple of the cosplayers there doing Dorothy and maybe Dorothy and the Witch. May have a vampire or two. You never know. I'll be there signing stuff and, doing the thing I always do. So if you're in the Knoxville, Tennessee area this weekend, come on out and see us.
Yeah. I'm going to play a couple trailers from some of the other stuff that Les works on, and we'll see y'all next week.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Presented by Resolute Bliss with our friends at Live Storm Chasers, because real storms inspire the darkest of legends.
This storm's trying to take us back.
Back to Gear City?
Not again.
Run! Here it comes. There she is. It's the witch.
She sure knows how to make an entrance.
I do hope you will join me. Not Oz like you've known. Welcome to my corner of Oz, a place called Gear City. Back Gear City, a tale from the broken world of Oz, coming soon to Kickstarter from Resolute Bliss Publishing.
It's a place to celebrate heroes that have passed. A place to remember great deeds and past battles. And the place where evil now waits to strike. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 2. Crowdfunding on fundmycomic.com.
Hey, what's up? This is Kel Mitchell, and you are watching Madness Entertainment Group. Woo!
Dr. Mall? Yeah, this is Detective Marcus Fulton with Kinnixon County Sheriff's Department, and I have a case I need your help with.
How many bodies?
2. Both ritual killings, both males, no obvious connection.
Are you a hunter, Mr. Fulton?
As much as I can be.
Good. So we're about to hunt the most elusive apex predator there is.
Well, then you better get a good night's sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.
Some killers, they want to be found. Some want to be caught. They want to see their own headlines. This man is not interested in any of that. He's on a mission. He's not going to stop. He's not going to make any mistakes.
There's a reason the res is where it is. Hell, even the local tribes haven't been up there in 200 years. They say even the land is evil.
I don't believe in that kind of evil.
Maybe you should.
Ozzy.
Ozzy, what are you doing? Come and have a look at this lovely book that was sent over.
You're wrapping in the burn.
Oh, go on and spit the bat out your mouth. No one can understand you like that.
Say how 5 dentists and all.
Oh, well, that's not much better. Ozzy, why don't you sing to me? I can always understand you when you sing to me.
Fucking my brains. What is this my publisher sent me? Inked in black with art so sweet.
So what do you think? Do you like it?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
If you missed the live viewing of any Meg production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. Madness Entertainment Group.